depended on it.
Sweetheart, you and I, we could make some beautiful music together. Animal music. A lot of money. I'm talking women's boxing here. What's the matter with you? Wasn't that politically correct enough for you? You should be so lucky.
Hi.
Oh, don't let me stop you. Keep going.
Oh, that's all right, Kay. I already killed him.
I'm not sure I want to know. Okay, where are they?
Hovering in the air. They're all around us. Fourth dimension.
Marco, don't get dense on me. Jagger and Karen are in real trouble, and I need to find them.
What makes you think I know where they are?
Marco, they're out there somewhere alone. Together, they've been out all night long.
Honey, you're correct. I'd like to know where they are, too. I haven't the vaguest idea. I don't have a clue.
Meg. Hi. Sorry. Have you seen Karen? I've been looking all over for her.
No, I haven't seen her since I came on duty.
When was that?
Hold on just a minute. See, actually, well, here it is. She wasn't scheduled to work last night. She finished yesterday afternoon.
Well, sometimes she fills in for someone, or she, you know, stays long.
Is there a problem here? Well, yeah, well, Mrs. Wexler was just wondering if any of us had seen Karen. And?
And I don't know what to do. She didn't come home at all last night.
I thought we should eat some.
Oh, I wish I'd known.
Well, you were fast asleep when I got up. You know, I checked for the cardboard and supplies, and there weren't any. You worried?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I am sorry.
Well, it's okay. I'm glad you're back.
I think I left you here for good.
I wouldn't blame you.
I will never take off on you.
I don't know why. With everything that's gone down, I don't see why anybody would stick around.
Well, maybe I'm not just anybody.
You're putting yourself in real danger because of me. Why would you do that? You have any ideas about what Sonny might do next?
Tell me, you know him best.
Well, then we're both in big trouble because it turns out I don't know him at all.
No, I don't get it.
You mean Sonny?
No, I mean you and Sonny.
It's not something I can explain, Jagger. Sonny accepted me. At least I thought he did.
Why do you need to be accepted by a guy like Sonny?
Maybe because I have more in common with him than anybody knows.
I don't buy it.
You don't know the kind of person I am, Jagger. That was our whole problem.
Save it. You know, it didn't make sense the first 100 times, and it still doesn't make sense now.
I didn't expect you to understand.
Oh, you never gave me a chance to understand.
I couldn't. There were so many things I couldn't tell you.
You wouldn't tell me. You just shut the door and walked away.
I had to.
You know, you talk about this person that you really are. Somebody I couldn't possibly understand. What about the person I know? You know, we had something special when we worked together. You can't convince me we
That's
didn't.
why I had to break up with you, because the closer we got, the more afraid I was that you'd find out the truth.
That was lies.
No.
That was a bunch of lies,
No,
right?
Okay, I don't know, okay? I know that when I broke up with you, I lied. When I told you that you weren't good enough for me, that wasn't true. I'm the one that didn't deserve you. I'm the one who wasn't good enough.
It's a bunch of bull.
That's the truth.
Do you think you deserve a guy like Sonny?
So wherever he is, he's got the girl with him.
So where? We cover the obvious, his place, his work, you know, like that?
Well, he can't get too far because he ain't got no real money, and they'll be on his bike. I will lean on Marco because Jagger might try to get in touch with him.
So what do you want us to do?
Put the word out and find him for me.
You got it.
All right, you got it.
Sonny.
So, you're, up early?
No, man, I didn't sleep much. Sonny, man, what's going on?
Nothing for you to lose sleep over.
Now, Sonny, I heard that Jagger was supposed to throw the fight for you. Is that true?
Oh, come on, Stone. Stop making a big deal out of this. These type of things happen all the time.
You actually thought that Jagger would take a dive?
I guess I misjudged him.
What made you think that he would do something like that, Sonny?
I don't have time for 20 questions. Get to the point.
It was Carrie, wasn't it? That's why you wanted me to bring her to the
No,
fight?
see, you shouldn't think because you know why? It's not good for you.
So what are you gonna do when you find her?
Didn't come home last night, and she didn't call?
I haven't heard from her since last night.
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation. Have you talked with Ruby?
I came here first. I was hoping someone at the hospital could help me.
Like who?
I don't know anyone.
Well, I'll be sure to ask him the moment I see him.
I wish you wouldn't jump to conclusions. I'm not here to see Alan.
Why not? He's always been there for you in a pinch.
He's a good friend. Was a good friend, but he's made it very clear what his priorities are, and I respect that. In fact, I respect that the two of you are trying to make your marriage work. Now, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it if you run into Alan and he knows anything about Karen, you tell one of the nurses so they can contact me, okay? I'd really appreciate that.
Rhonda. Look, I'm sure you must be frantic. If I hear anything at all about Karen, I will call you myself.
Really? You would do that?
Of course I would. And, I'm sorry.
You know, I'm sorry, too. I always told Alan that I hoped your marriage would work. I mean, you two are perfect for one another.
Well, I wouldn't say perfect.
It looks that way. You know, he's been so wonderful to me and Karen that, all I want is for him to be happy. I would just die if I thought I had gotten into the way of that.
Well, that isn't going to happen.
No, I guess not. Of course not. I mean, who am I? I mean, you two do have everything together. Your family, the way you live. You're so generous. I don't know if I ever told you how much Karen and I appreciated the way you and your family, you know, opened yourself up to us.
Well, Jason was very fond of Karen, and Alan and I have always had a lot of faith in her.
I wish I had your confidence. I've never been able to give Karen the stability you've been able to give your sons. I've wanted to, just...
Well, I'm just glad that you know that whatever you have to do, it will be without my husband.
I didn't mean that. Excuse me. I have to go.
I hope you weren't beating up on her.
Okay, I give. Who were you really beating up on?
Just had to blow off a little steam.
What are you steamed about? You should be on cloud 9. I'm assuming here that you did get things straight with Mac. Huh. You did tell him that you accepted his proposal, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I laid it all on the line. I said to him, he was the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm sorry that I didn't see it in the first place. I told him that I treasured him for everything that he's ever done for me. I even told him that when he proposed to me and I said no, that was the biggest mistake I ever made in my entire life. Do you know how hard that was?
But did you tell him you were going to marry him?
Yes. He said, forget it. What? Can you believe it? I put my big heart on a big silver platter and he threw it right back in my face.
Oh, honey, what a rotten break. Did he give you any reason?
He said that I was very inconsistent, that I was always, I could never make up my mind, that I was always fluctuating or something, but frankly, I don't see it. Do you?
Well, you do change your mind more than anybody I've ever met.
Oh, Tiffany.
Well, I'm not excusing Mac, but you didn't have to be so blatant about it.
I thought that was part of my charm.
Of course it is. Except in this case. I mean, Mac did propose to you, didn't he? I mean, I'm sure his ego took quite a bruising.
Well, I don't think I should always have to worry about his ego. We're not talking about a brand new fancy car. We're talking about marriage.
Exactly, and he deserved a straight answer.
And I gave him one.
Actually, you gave him 2.
It's because I didn't like the way I answered it the first time. What's so wrong about taking some time to figure it out?
Wait just a minute here. You just said that Felicia wants to marry you?
Yep.
Well, that's great. What's the problem?
I can't marry her.
Why not?
Because she doesn't know what she wants.
She said she wants to marry you. I mean, she did say that, didn't she?
Yeah, Sean, that was yesterday. Last week, it was no way. Who knows what tomorrow's gonna be? I just can't live like that.
Ah, right. You're Mr. Stability. Right. Oh, come off it, will you?
Look, Sean, it's one thing to want a life of adventure with a little intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about a long-term relationship. I want to know I can count on it.
Yeah. Do you love her?
Yes, I do, and she knows I do. I just can't take the vacillating. It's making me insane.
Oh, making you insane. Look, I mean, it's no news to either one of us that at times Felicia can be a bit quirky, but I find that rather endearing myself.
Oh, that's great. But you're not the one considering living with it the rest of your life. Sean, we wouldn't last 10 minutes. She wouldn't last 5 minutes. Picture it. We wake up from our honeymoon and Felicia's on some plane to God knows where because she's reconsidering whether or not she made a mistake. Look, I don't need, the last thing I need right now is a lifetime of second-guessing her.
I'm sure she'll calm down the minute you get her to the altar. Yeah, I think the only thing she really wants is the commitment.
I asked her to marry me. Me, Sean. I proposed to someone. How much more of a commitment can I make?
Gee, that's a miracle. You propose to someone. Well, there's one for the books. Are you sure this just isn't a case of cold feet on your part?
No, it's a case of self-preservation, pure and simple.
Ah.
Life with Felicia would be nothing but heartache.
And what would life be without her?
Well, I'd damn well better be able to adjust. It's survival, Sean, pure and simple.
I'm so sorry, Jagger. I only wanted to save both of us from being hurt.
Yeah, but telling me I wasn't good enough for you.
I didn't know what else to do, Jack. I had to make you go away before you found out.
About what?
About me.
Why are you so afraid?
Jagger, please. I can't tell you.
Yeah, but told Sonny, right? You could talk to him. guess so.
He was the only one I ever told. I never wanted to live that life, Jagger. I never wanted to strip in that place. But he convinced me that that's where I belonged. He was so sure of himself. He made me believe that he was the one person who wouldn't judge me and who could accept me for what I was. And then he just turned me into something that was even worse.
You trusted him, and he used you. So I guess you can't trust anyone again, right? Not even me.
I don't know how.
Well, you have to. You think do you think I would do the same thing he did to you? Karen, you're the one who showed me how to open up and how to not be afraid of how I felt.
This is different.
How?
It's a secret.
It's poison. Look what it's doing to you.
Telling you isn't gonna change what happened to me.
Well, it might change how you feel. Wait, do you want to live like this for the rest of your life? Then you got no choice.
Oh my God.
Karen, don't be afraid. Not with me.
It was Ray. He used to come in my room and, he would get my mom really drunk and wait for her to pass out, and then she would, he would come into my room when I was in bed, and I never wanted it to happen, Jagger, but I never stopped him.
When this happened?
When I was 10, I swear, Jagger, I never wanted it to happen, but I never stopped it. I never told anybody. No, it was more than that. I knew that they would blame me.
Blame you? You're just a little girl.
But it was my fault.
Why was Rhonda upset?
I beg your pardon.
She looked upset. I just thought that
I was beating up on her. Well, what about me, Alan? Don't I look upset?
you do now.
Has it ever occurred to you that I might be feeling beaten up on myself? No, of course it hasn't. Because the first words out of your mouth are compassion for Rhonda.
I have compassion for a lot of people, Monica. It's what I do for a living.
When are you going to have a little empathy for me, huh?
Listen to me. I spoke to Rhonda, as I said I would. Now, even though I never had an affair with her, out of deference to your feelings, I'm not going to see her anymore.
You have to make it sound like it's such a sacrifice.
When you lose a friend, Monica, it is a sacrifice. But the bottom line is that I love you. Is that clear? I cherish what we have. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
I understand that.
So what happens now? Are you going to make me pay for the rest of my life for that stupid achy breaky dance and one meaningless little kiss?
That wasn't meaningless, Alan. That hurt me a lot. And I'm not going to get over it just like that.
Okay, fine. Then we both have a lot of work to do. But you got to start trusting me again. If you don't, my sons never will. We have to rebuild this family, Monica. I can't do it by myself. I don't want to.
You're right. We have a lot of work to do.
So, what started all this?
Rhonda.
How did it all come about?
Well, apparently, Karen didn't come home last night, and she hasn't called, and Rhonda is frantic.
I don't blame her. I would be frantic, too, if I had a child with substance abuse.
Tell me about it. How many sleepless nights did we have with AJ? Well, you obviously haven't seen Karen. Guess I'll ask Jason.
Ah, just the man I'm looking for.
Oh, well, you found him.
Hi.
Dr. Quartermain, may I say that you are rapidly becoming General Hospital's greatest asset?
That sounds a little excessive, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I don't think so. Your article in the Journal, plus the generous donation made by Jack Boland, has generated another pledge of $250,000.
From whom?
Does the name Pamela Rosen ring a bell?
That's Bruce Rosen's wife.
Is she a patient here?
No, he was.
Her husband was in a car crash, suffered a spinal injury somewhat similar to Jack Boland's son-in-law. He was in terrible pain for 5 years. Unfortunately, he died before Alan came up with this new therapy. Anyway, she feels that he would want to make this donation so that others wouldn't have to suffer the way he did.
She's so sweet. They were such a dear couple.
Yeah. I just checked with Jack. We're going to invite her to the banquet next week. It's going to be quite an affair. Again, Alan, congratulations. And you, lady, you should be proud of him.
I am, you know.
Come here.
I think I'm the proudest I have ever been of you.
I can't tell you how much that means to me.
And as for you, how long are you going to keep Felicia hanging before you tie the knot?
Real long. That's how long.
Shame on
You know why she said that, don't you?
Yeah, to torture me.
No, she said it because she knows how crazy you are about Felicia. In fact, everybody knows that.
Crazy. You see, crazy, that's the operative word. That's how I'll end up, in some padded cell with Chamberlain somewhere.
I doubt it. Mac, I think you're making a huge mistake here, that's all.
Look, Sean, I can't condemn myself to a life of ditziness and denial.
All right, well, look, all right. Granted, Felicia can be a bit difficult, but she can also be very sensational. I'm sure that's just two of the reasons why you fell in love with her, right?
Yes. Look, that might be true, Sean, but it doesn't mean that I can live with it. Look, it's one thing if you're in it for laughs.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about the real thing, a real commitment, I want to know I have solid ground under my feet.
Yeah, right. You want something predictable, right? I mean, maybe even boring.
No. What I want to know is when I wake up, I want to know who's lying next to me.
Mac, you are asking for the impossible. Marriage is essentially an unpredictable arrangement. I mean, the only thing you can predict is that you're never going to know what's going to happen next. Ever.
I get that when I'm single. Why bother with marriage?
No, trust me. Marriage is worth it. Now, when I wake up every day, now, the one thing I can take to the bank is the knowledge that Tiffany and I love each other, and we have committed ourselves to making it work. Now, there are no guarantees beyond that. Not in any marriage I know about, anyway.
So it's a crapshoot no matter how you look at it.
Look, buddy, if you were looking for a sure thing, you get a long haul ahead of you.
Mag needs to know that under that somewhat scattered exterior of yours, that there's a constant, a steadiness that comes from loving him and knowing where you want your life to go.
I told him that once I figured it out for myself. I know it took me a little while, but that's just the way I am. Besides, if you love somebody, shouldn't you accept them for who they are? Why should I have to change?
Because Mac's been pretty terrific to you, and you haven't been equally as sensitive to him. And if we're talking marriage here, your feelings are only 50% of the equation. You can't be married all by yourself.
Well, sounds like a plan to me.
Honey, even you get on your own nerves after a while.
Well, I have a child, and she's going to love me no matter what.
Okay. Why do you think that she loves you so much?
Because I'm a terrific mother.
Be specific.
Because she feels secure with me. Because she knows that I'm the most important thing in her life and that I would do anything for her.
Even when you don't feel like it, right? Don't you think Mac deserves a little of that? I mean, don't you think anybody that we love needs to know that when push comes to shove, we're willing to put them first?
Mac doesn't put me first. I said I was sorry. I told him that I loved him. I told him I wanted to marry him, but it didn't make any difference. Frankly, I think he's being a child.
Look, it all boils down to this. If you want Mac, you're going to have to go after him again, and you're going to have to give it your best shot. Now, promise me you'll do that. Or at least think about it.
I can't think on an empty stomach.
Well, we can fix that up right now. Let's go to Kelly's, okay? Mac might even be there.
Oh, God, my hair.
Well, honey, we'll fluff your hair in the car. Take it down. We'll beautify ourselves. We'll look great when we get there. Walk in and knock them dead.
Hi.
Hi.
Have you seen Jagger?
No. Something wrong?
He's just kind of pulling a disappearing act, you know, guys.
Yeah. Frankly, I'm thinking about becoming a nun.
Yeah, black's not my color.
If I see him, I'll have him give you a call, okay?
Thanks, that'd be great.
Bye.
Bye.
Any luck?
I don't know what you mean.
Sure you do. If anyone can find Jagger, I bet you're the one to do it.
This is nice. Jagger, say something, please.
I can't help wondering how different things might have been if I had known what was going on. All the grief it would have saved us.
I wanted to tell you so many times.
Didn't you think that I would help you if you let me? Now, Karen, I have to ask you this. How come you could trust Sonny and not me?
I never meant to tell anybody, Jagger. Ray just showed up at the club one day, and I freaked out, you know. And Sonny was there, and he knew something was wrong, and he got rid of Ray, and that made me feel protected. So I guess that's why I told her. You're angry, aren't you?
You know, I'm not angry. I am not angry at you. I'm angry at Ray. I wish I could be in a room for 5 minutes.
It wouldn't do any good. Because Ray is so convinced he's the greatest guy on earth, you know, and
he's sick.
Whatever happened was because I wanted it to.
He's sick. You know, you've been living with us since you were 10 years old.
I didn't remember it. I blocked it out. And then he showed up one day with my mother, and was the day before graduation, and it just triggered something in my head. Well, not all at once, but just like flashes and moments.
Like what?
Like, it would start in the pit of my stomach, and it would make me feel like I was suffocating. And then there were images, too, like this doll that I used to have, and this window shade that was pulled down in my room, and just dreams and, well, nightmares, really. And then there was us.
Us?
Jagger, I wanted to make love with you so bad. More than anything. I remember I was so excited about prom night, it was going to be perfect. And then when we started and we went up to your room, I didn't know why I was so petrified, but I was. There was just something so dark inside me.
I knew that something was wrong. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I knew you knew me too well, and I couldn't risk you finding out. And then it all just started to fit together, and all the pieces started fitting together into one terrible picture, and then I just fell apart.
When Sonny touched you, did you fall apart?
Oh, Jagger. I didn't know what I was doing. I was so lost. And I couldn't get away from Ray everywhere I went. He was there tormenting me or pretending like nothing ever happened.
You didn't tell your mom even then?
Well, Jagger, my mom thinks I am perfect. I tried to tell her a couple times, and she just would go off about how perfect I was and how proud she was of me. And she had me up on this pedestal that I couldn't get off of. You know, and everywhere I went, Kelly's and the hospital and in my own home, everybody had this image about me. And I just knew I was a fake. And then I started going to those raves, and I don't know, it just seemed right, you know, because I was a stranger there, and nobody had expectations of me. And that's where I met Stone, or Mike, and then he introduced me to Sonny.
Yeah, well, remind me to thank him when I get through with Ray, you know?
Oh, don't. He's a good kid. I couldn't have made it without him. Or you.
Did I do?
All of this. I never realized how hard it would be.
Did it help?
This is probably the most important thing that I've ever done in my life. And I couldn't have done it without you.
Who's here? How was the workout, huh?
Strenuous.
Hey, you look great, both of you.
Yeah, why don't you sit down and join us?
No, I've got a lot of work at the Outback.
You know, you don't have to leave on our account.
Oh, no, not at all. I just, you know, if I don't get to the payroll, I'll have mutiny on my hands.
Mac, really, it's not necessary.
It's all right. You guys enjoy. See you later.
There's a man who's not having second thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, Why don't you two join me? Sit down. May I, make a suggestion?
What if I said no?
Look, Felicia, honey, if I didn't know in my heart that you two belonged together, I'd keep my mouth shut, believe me.
Don't look at me, sweetheart. It's his quarter, okay?
I just don't want you ruining a good thing, okay?
Me? Why is it always my fault?
Well, it's not always your fault, except in this instance, I think that you have vacillated once too often, that's all.
I don't think this sounds like a fair fight. You've already heard Mac's side of
Honey,
it.
it is not a fight at all. How well do I know you, huh?
Pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, pretty well. Well enough to know that when Mac described what happened, I had very little difficulty recognizing the woman he was talking about. Not that I think you did it on purpose, but it was...
I did nothing.
Maybe that's part of the problem. Because if you really want this thing to work out with Mac, you better do something and do it fast.
Well, you saw him. He seemed completely uninterested. Well, what did you have in mind?
Think about making some changes.
Now, that's a plot.
Yeah, we're not trying to gang up on you. We just love you both so much, Felicia, and we know that you love each other. We just want you to be happy.
Well, if he loves me, can't he just love me for who I am?
Well,
no.
Come on, take some time to think about it.
Ruby, have you seen Karen? Oh, no, something's wrong.
I think she's okay.
You think?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
Well, where is she?
She's with Jagger.
Why? What happened?
Look, I really don't think I should tell you that. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I think it's something between you and your daughter.
Ruby, do you know what I'm going through? I am worried sick.
I understand.
I have some good news. Ruby, would you please keep her away from me?
Miss Wexler.
I don't want to hear anything from you today, okay? I'm not in the mood for any of your smart aleck comments.
What's the good news?
I was just down at the gym.
Yeah.
I saw Sonny. He has no idea where Karen and Jagger are at.
Thank heavens for that.
Why is that good? Who's this Sonny?
Well, Sonny, he's... I gotta use the phone.
Karen's in serious trouble this time, isn't she?
Look, she's safe as long as she's with Jagger. He would never let anything happen to her.
You really believe that?
I know that.
Boy, I never thought I'd be grateful to her at the time when the two of them would be together.
Be very grateful.
Where is he?
I don't know.
You don't know it?
Take a look around, man. He's not in the office. He's not under the stairs. I mean, check wherever you want. He's
No,
not here.
don't cop an attitude with me, Dane. I asked you to find Jagger, a simple request with a simple solution.
I don't know where he is. Why does everybody think I know where he is? I mean, he's ticked off at me. I don't even know where to begin to look for this guy.
You let me down again.
Gee, we were getting along so well, too.
And on my count, that's strike two.
Sonny, I want to find him. He is my friend. He is my meal ticket. What do you think? I'm just going to let him disappear?
No, you know what I think? I think you didn't try hard enough. And I think you need to do whatever it takes to find those two.
You know, you're not responsible for what Ray did to you.
I'm beginning to understand that. In my head, I'm just waiting for the rest of me to catch up.
Look at me. You did nothing. You were a terrified little girl who didn't have anyone to protect you. And it wasn't your fault. It's that simple.
Makes sense.
It never will. But you're so sweet and good and kind and gentle. And nothing that has happened can change what I know.
Yeah, I was right. I didn't deserve you. Why didn't I tell you when I had the chance? Why did I have to wait until you didn't love me anymore?
But I never stopped loving you, Karen.
Well, that's understandable, Karen.
No,
you know?
but it's not about Ray, though. I mean, I've been living a pretend life for so long now, I don't know what's real anymore.
Well, I do.
But it's not about me. I mean, everything is just too complicated. It's not black or white. It's just all gray. How do you know you love me?
Because I do.
No, how do you know you love me? This person standing right here in front of you. I have changed so much, Jagger.
No, you haven't changed,
Yes, I
Karen.
have. Whether you want to admit it or not, I have changed.
Karen, remember something that happened to you when you were little. Doesn't change who you are.
But I feel different, Jagger. Can you understand that? I can't even remember what I was like before. High school, you and Jason being stuck on the island, you and me. It seems like a lifetime ago.
No, it isn't. It's this lifetime. And you're the same person I fell in love with. Maybe a little bit skinnier. I don't know, I'm hitting the gym.
Jagger, I don't know if I can love anybody anymore. And that scares me to death.